When you think about it, female nature has to be much worse than male nature. And the irony there is that males and men in general, masculinity, quote unquote the patriarchy, constantly gets demonized and shot down and portrayed as dangerous in the media and entertainment, right? But what nobody talks about in mainstream venues or mainstream areas, right, is female nature. Nobody talks about that. The only people who talk about that are red pill guys, right? And some PUA guys, because PUA, pickup artistry, seeks to exploit hypergamy, learn the tricks of the female psyche, how to trick it, into getting what they want, right? So, which is why in the past I've said PUA and red pill go hand in hand, or they complement each other, if you will. But really, it's all just a breakdown of the female brain, what motivates women, the psychology of female biology and female nature. And what is it? It's hypergamy. What is it? It's the need for security. It's animalistic, right? Is that worse than a man who just, wants to have sex with a lot of women? Because if you argue what male nature is, that's what male nature is. Men just want to have sex. And this is what a lot of women are so upset about, is they're like, oh, guys just only want me for sex and da-da-da-da-da. And it's like, the irony there is that women want men for sex too. The hypocrisy there is that women use men for sex too, just like men use women for sex. It's just that women don't admit to that because that's faux pas. They can't. That's taboo, I should say. They can't admit that they just want sex. They can't admit that they just casually have sex. Although, in recent years, that's starting to become more normalized, and people are talking about it in a more normal way. Not to say that is normal or should be normal, because it's not normal and it shouldn't be normal. It's degeneracy. It's immorality. Right? But women have always done that. Women have always had casual sex. And in the case of, say, porn or something, it's the most blatant, obvious giveaway that that's what women love. Women love casual sex just like men love casual sex. The difference is that not only can women, as far as social stigma, not talk about it, they're not supposed to talk about it, and they don't talk about it because it lowers their value, it lowers their sexual market value, their marriage market value, and they know that. But also, it exposes hypergamy because you're getting paid for it, right? So whenever there's a financial incentive, women are far more sexual, if you really think about that. So that's female nature, which is hypergamy, right? Wherever there's success, wherever there's financial security, wherever there's a financial payout, then women are more sexual. Then women are more invested. They're more interested. This just is common sense. It's what we all see. This is why Leonardo DiCaprio was able to bang a bevy, a consistent conveyor belt of 19 to 25-year-olds on his yachts, and nobody gives a crap. He's not canceled. He's not... Yeah, some women are mad about it, but they're mad about it because they know the truth. They know it exposes their nature. They know that younger women are more... have more value. As they should. Because you're supposed to get married and have kids when you're younger. Not go out and, be a career woman. Not go out and, sow your wild oats, have fun, go to the bars, hook up. Right? This is the lie that the degenerate world is pushing on young women. This is the lie that radical feminism, which is backed by evil, insidious, social engineering powers, is pushing on young women. Go have fun. Don't go be a mother. Don't get tied down to one man, one income, one lifestyle. go out and use multiple men for multiple different reasons. Oh, this guy's got a six-pack abs. This guy's got a luxury car. This guy's got a penthouse in downtown. You can overlook the city. This guy's got a ski resort home, right? Use multiple men for multiple different things. This is what young women are doing behind the scenes that people don't realize. It's exploiting sexuality. Women are the biggest exploiters of sexuality, which is the funny thing about the the whole "I'm not an object" movement, right? They're the ones who objectify themselves for the benefits, and they love doing it. This is why I think female nature is far worse than male nature. Men are just simple. Yes, we want to have sex. Yes, we like big boobs and we like big booties. That's in our nature. We're simple, right? And we realize that, oh, okay, to get that, I need to make money. Okay, and we go like a robot to work and try to make money and try to be successful and this, that, and the third. And some guys have figured out the hack. They've become professional sports players. They've become professional actors, or they've become rich and this and this and this, and they've hacked the matrix, like Andrew Tate likes to say, even though he's just a complete degenerate and promotes degeneracy, even though he lies and says, oh yeah, it's all about, women should be pure and this, that, and the third, even though he himself is not pure, which is hypocrisy, right? I mean, at least he's speaking some truths. I'll give him that. I'm not perfect. Let he who is without sin cast the first stone. I'm not perfect. But let's call a spade a spade. He made his money pimping women, which is part of the problem, which is pornography, right? Which is part of the problem. He pimped women for cam girls. That's part of what's ruining families. That's part of what's ruining society. So let's just call a spade, right? But women are the ones who exploit themselves. It's not men. It's not just there's no conglomerate monolith of Andrew Tates out there. What there is a conglomerate monolith is, conglomerate monolith out there is women who are exploiting themselves. Women who are lining up to go do porn, lining up to do cam girl work, lining up to do OnlyFans. They don't want to go work. They don't want to do what men do. They don't want to work a 9 to 5. It's boring. It doesn't pay enough. It's not luxurious. You can't afford the things you want. You can basically pay to feed yourself and pay for rent. That sucks to a lot of these modern minds, female and males. I get it. We grew up in a generation that canonized, celebritized celebrities. We idolized rich people. We idolize people who are wealthy. We idolize that lifestyle, and it's enticing. If you think about that lifestyle, you don't have to work. You get to have this home in England and all this land over here, and you get to have a vacation home in Hawaii, and it makes sense. Yeah, I want to become a millionaire. I want to become a billionaire so I can have 10 houses all across the world and live this jet set playboy life like Andrew and Tristan Tate and have all these women, and it's enticing. I get it. But is it sustainable? Is it healthy? Is it plausible for the average person? Hell no. It's a dream. It's a carrot in front of your face from Satan, right? That's another it's another mirage, distraction, right? It's not plausible. I wish it were. I wish we could all, have this wonderful life where we've got homes and houses and quaint little, and we never have to die. But that's not the reality we live in. The reality we live in is that we're going to die after 70, 80, 90 years if we're lucky. And who wants to live past, 75 really anyways, because your body breaks down. It's all over. That's the reality we live in. The reality is the Bible is real. The reality is that there's going to be an afterlife. The reality is that we're going to be judged for our behavior here on earth. It's what it is. We're going to be judged whether or not we accepted the gospel. That's real. I mean, there's nothing else. There's no other truth. People are just walking around blind because Satan has people's minds corrupted, you know? But it's enticing for a young woman to just, oh, I'll just sell myself, you know? But they don't want to be mothers anymore. They don't want to raise good kids. They don't want to have a nice, strong family, a loving husband. This is all too boring. It's all too 1950s. It's too old school. It's too traditional. Even though it's wholesome, even though it's healthy, even though it's what you're supposed to do, it's just they want that little 10-year gap. Oh, I want to go have my fun, and then when I'm 30, then I'll have kids, then I'll settle down. And so what they're doing is they're forcing their man to accept their shit. They're forcing their man, guys. So here's the thing about a male nature, which women don't have. Male nature wants really. And I wanted this when I was in my teens. So the argument that, and I know a lot of other guys that want love and want this in their teens. So the argument that, oh, all men want is sex. Well, there's a lot of truth to that. There's also a lot of non-truth to that, because men want families, men want love, right? Yes, we're attracted to physically beautiful women. Yes, we're attracted to sex in general, but so are women. Women are attracted to physically beautiful men. Women are attracted to sex. The difference is that guys don't care about how much money a woman makes. We don't care. That's the difference. The difference between female nature and male nature is that guys don't care. We don't care about your status. We don't care about your accomplishments. We don't care. Yes, we want an intelligent woman. Yes, we want a woman who's smart and funny, and has a good sense of humor and has a good personality. And we also want women who have character. We want women who have morality. Because what's going to be raising your children? Just a pair of legs and a nice bust? No, you want a woman who has intelligence. You want a woman who has a personality, who's kind, who's generous, has a lot of qualities. That's what you want as a man, because that's going to help you raise your children. That's going to, raise quality children. But women don't care about that. They don't care about improving themselves. It's always the other way around. It's always men have to improve. Men have to become stronger. Men have to become more confident. Men have to do this. Men have to do that. Make more money. Have more material goods. Be able to provide. And this is their nature. This is hypergamy, right? So what's worse? What's worse? Men and women are basically the same when it comes to sex. We both want to hook up with attractive people. We both want sex. That whole lie that women are the fairest sex. Oh, women don't do that. I remember growing up thinking, gosh, I can't believe women do porn, because, it's it just seems like that's not their nature. It seems like they're not sexual like that, because they play the game. They make it think on the surface that they're not like that, but behind closed doors, what are they doing? They're fulfilling the fantasies of the average man. The average man has fantasies of sex all the time. That's what the average guy is like. Yeah, I want to have sex. It's I don't know. It's biological drive to procreate. Fine. But we also want love, and they say women want love, but women want love conditionally. Men are more unconditional. I'll say this before and I'll say it again. Men are more romantic than women. Men are far more romantic than women. The problem is that men can't find the right woman to be romantic with. And the problem is that women kill romance, because women are always trying to control men. They're always trying to dictate to men how to be romantic, how to take them on a date, this, that, and the third. It kills it for us, because here's what a man feels like. I'm being taken advantage of. I got to go through this dating machine. I got to go through this. I got to jump through these hoops just to get you out on a date, and then you might not even choose me. It's weird. It's weird for us. We don't want to perform this perfunctory kind of robotic dating. We want to be, men are spontaneous. We like to be spontaneous, but we want to be spontaneous for a special woman. We want to be romantic for a special woman. And when women try to control and dictate how we treat them and how we're romantic with them, it kills our romance, because it's not genuine. Whenever these like shallow, materialistic, gold digging type women, oh, you need to take me on a date and you need to do this, and we're just like, what? There's nothing special about that. Romance is supposed to be special. Romance is supposed to be special for a special person. And when a woman dictates how she wants to be taken on a date, we just feel like a number. We're just like, oh, okay, so you want me to, jump through these hoops like all these other guys are jumping through the hoops, and maybe you'll choose me. It kills everything, because you're not special. That's what deep down what we realize. You are not special at that point. You're just a woman who's got a whole plethora of guys, a whole recruitment team of guys that that are orbiting you, that you're choosing from. And the one who takes you on the most expensive date or the most unique date or this, that, and the third. If you go watch these old shows, I don't know if they're old, they probably still do them. These like, who wants to marry a millionaire, true love shows. And it's like all these guys, they got one woman and like 20 guys vying for her. And this guy does that. And this guy has a rose. And this guy, proposes to her on a helicopter pad over a waterfall and all this shit. It's like, that's what women want. They want this performance. They want this, and they want it from a bunch of different men, and then they want to choose the best man. That plays into female hypergamy, which is crazy, and that kills. That's not romantic at all. There's nothing spontaneous about that. There's nothing loving about that. It's a job application. What man wants to apply for a job application for love? I can't imagine any man who would want to do that. You have to be really blue-pilled, really ignorant, really mentally stuck in the matrix. As a real man, you want a woman who's special. You want a woman who I want to take this woman on a date. I want to go do these unique romantic things with this woman. I want to go take her for a walk in the snow, or go get coffee at this little coffee shop I know of, or go to this hill and overlook the city and do all this, loving things that women claim they want. But women aren't. We don't have a special person to do that with. And men feel special for a woman who's not used up, who's not a part of this dating machine matrix, dictating to like 50 different guys, or 100 or 200 or 5,000 guys, who knows, because of the dating sites. Women have this insane, just plethora of men to choose from. There's nothing special about that. This is why men are walking away from dating and walking away from marriage, because it's weird. It's like, why am I going to go compete for your love with 5,000 other dudes? That means your love is not special. That means you're selling yourself. It's like you're in the phone book. Of course, they don't have phone books anymore, but back in my day, they used to have phone books, and you'd open the phone book and there's just thousands and thousands of names and numbers, which today is, when you think about it, it's pretty insane. Right, but thousands and it was free. The phone book, they just threw it on your porch once a year, once every 6 months. They just threw the phone book on your porch, the new updated revised version of the phone book, and there's just thousands and thousands of numbers in there, people's names and numbers right there, your neighbors. And it's weird to think about now because of privacy issues, but that's what it used to be. That's like women on the dating market. You put your profile out there on Tinder or Plenty of Fish or Match.com, eHarmony, blah, blah, blah. And you're out there for everybody in the city, everybody in the state, everybody in the country, everybody in the world to just click on your pictures and click on your... It's bananas to think about the options that women have. And we're competing for that? What is special about that? Women don't understand that. They don't understand that men want a special woman who's not used, who doesn't have a bunch of men she slept with before she met us. That's romantic. That makes us feel like, oh yeah, okay, this is a special woman. I want to make this woman mine. I want to go do romantic things for her, yada yada, because she's not used up, because she's special, because she's mine. You could argue and say that's possessive and all kinds of angles that modern feminists use. Oh, you don't own me. Like, really? I don't own you? So anybody can have you? So anybody, and it's not that I want to own you as in control you. That's a devilish lie. I own you and you own me, so to speak, because we're meant for each other, because we're monogamous to each other, because I'm yours and you're mine, and it's something that's pure and special. If you remove that, and anybody can have you, and many men have had you, hundreds or dozens or hundreds of men have had you before, there's nothing special anymore about it. You spoil the love. But this is the world that women wanted. And then they're mad that guys are like, no, I'm passing it up. I'm not going to be, why would I be romantic with you when Chad, Tyrone, and whoever had you, when Tom, Dick, and Harry had you, when Chris, Mike, and whoever had you, right? All these hundreds of dudes you've been with before me, dozens of dudes who probably didn't have to be romantic with you to get the sex, who probably didn't have to be romantic with you for you to chase them, or you had these relationships, and now all of a sudden that you want to settle down and you're in your 30s or whatever, which is highly past your prime, in a way. People should be married at 20. In the old days, they used to marry at 15, right when they get into that cycle. They'd marry their daughters off, and I don't know, you could argue that that's misogynistic, or you could argue that that's patriarchal. You could argue that that's it's slavery. I don't know, man, but the point is that it was a safeguard. It was a safeguard so that women wouldn't go out and become used, and it's been men too. Both men and women should be pure. You should love one person, and she should love you back, and it should be a monogamous thing, and it's a pure thing, and it's bonded around that love. It's not based on financial security, although that's a part of life. To have kids, you need finances, etc. Like, I get that, but love is something that transcends that. Money and material possessions can come and go. Family is forever. Love should be forever, but it's not in today's day and age. Everybody gets divorced, right? I mean, this is a serious problem. Divorce is at plus 50%. People are miserable and unhappy because of things like this, and yet they don't check and they don't go to see what's the real problem here. What's really going on? Why are we listening to these same-sex oriented radical feminists from the 1960s who told us that men were evil? Why do we listen to that? Maybe we can listen to what men want. Maybe we can listen and say, men want purity. Men want something special with a special woman who hasn't been used up. Men want a woman who's got our back, who doesn't want us just for our money, just for our financial, who doesn't make us compete with other men for her love. That's what men want. But it's this perpetual cycle of doing the same thing, expecting different results. It doesn't work, and they don't realize why it doesn't work. So anyway, that's my argument. That's my podcast for today. Appreciate you guys listening. It's been Jay Lee, Northwest Podcast. Peace.